Hey everybody, welcome to this installment of the Booze Briefing. This is episode number 24. My name is Scott. This is where I get to answer your dumbass questions about my two books, Joe's Cold War Diaries Volume 1 and 2, and Volume 3 is on the way. And why am I talking faster? Trying to get these shows condensed a little bit. They're starting to get a little bit long. Don't want you guys to be tuning out and missing all the fun stuff. Remember, every book we sell helps raise money and awareness for American Gold Star mothers. So give us a review, give us a like, give us a share, give us a follow, give us all that stuff, man. Help us out. We want to raise money for a really great cause. See the email address above my head. Hit me up. Got questions about the books, about Army life during the Cold War in Europe? You want to send me a drink recommendation? Hit me up. Yeah. All good game. Interesting bottle today. This is Penelope straight bourbon whiskey toasted. Now I've seen Penelope, you may have seen it as well, on the shelves of my Class 6, Max's Bottle Shop. And this is really cool. This is a really cool bottle. Did some digging into Penelope, the brand, started by Michael Palladini and Danny Police in 2018. And they named it after Palladini's daughter, Penelope. Penelope Palladini. That's going to be a strong chick when she grows up. That is a terrific name, so she gets props on that. How many people can say, hey, my name is Penelope Palladini and I've got a bourbon named after me and you don't? That's pretty badass. Anyway, so MGP out of Indiana was distilling this stuff for them. Penelope basically went guerrilla, man. They did guerrilla marketing, online marketing, hitting the social media circuit, going straight to whiskey clubs and that kind of thing instead of dealing with, big distributors that, it's a very crowded scene right now. Certainly even in 2018 with, craft distilleries. And they took off, man. And so much that MGP, the people who were distilling it, ended up buying Penelope and adding it to their own brand. So that's pretty cool. They sold it for, I think, 200 million, north of 200 million. That's what the research shows. It's pretty fucking awesome. Anyway, so let's give this an open here on the patented high-tech liquor checklist. Ooh, boy, that... Checking my microphone. Boy, that smells great. God, that smells good. Ooh, boy. Oh, man, that is pretty awesome. As you guys know, I don't get into all the flavors and the notes and all that crap. I either like it or I don't, right? Penelope Toasted. Oh, man, no nose burn whatsoever. By the way, what is this, 100 proof? Yes, 100 proof. Barrel finish. Char 4 Toast Medium Proof 100. They may have other different types of toasted. From what I understand, every bottle may be a little bit different because they hand char the barrels. Don't know that. This is my first bottle, but we'll see. We'll see how this goes. Challenge is still going on. I'm going to eat this 1988 MRE, last thing in my rucksack when I ETS in 1989. Potatoes au gratin. You know it's going to be nasty. You want them to see me eat it? Give us a subscribe. Give us a share. Give us a follow, man. Hook us up. All right, you know the drill. By the way, we are going to have guests soon. Still working out the technology on that. Got a couple of guests lined up, I think. So just got to work out and do some testing on it and all that kind of good shit. Anyway, here's our question of the day. This is from, do we want to do a drink before I do the question, though? It hasn't really seasoned. That's the only problem with doing one question is it throws my whole mojo off, right? I don't know. Well, maybe we'll just do a sneak peek. Let's do a sneak, let's preview. God, it smells very good. Ooh, boy, that's good. The burn is, it seems like it's a little bit more than 100, but it's very smooth. Oh, boy. I just for quality assurance purposes here. Yes, this is a podcast where you get to tune in and watch me drink. That's some good stuff, man. I cannot wait to try the dunk test. By the way, we got a surprise on the dunk test here. Just hang on one second. Let's get to the question. By the way, it does taste like liquor. Kind of figured it would, but hey. Question is from Becca McCall. I bought your books for my husband, who is also an Army vet, and he loves them. Well, thank you very much for helping a great cause like American Gold Star Mothers, Becca. We really appreciate it. However, he keeps pausing your booze briefing videos to tell me his version of the same stories from when he was stationed in Korea. Is this contagious? You just figured it out, Becca. You just stumbled upon the thing that this whole book series and everything is about, other than Gold Star Mothers, but the core of the content. Joes are Joes are Joes. It doesn't matter what era, it doesn't matter where you were, it doesn't matter what your job was. You know, there's a universal set of universal truths, I think, in the military. Being a Joe in the Army, of course, we called ourselves Joes. And maybe someone confirm if they still do. I'm sure they still do. They called soldiers Joes, GI Joes, well before I got in. But these hijinks are not limited to the time and place that where I was. They're not. It is universal. And I hear from people all the time, I knew a guy like that one guy in that one story. We had a guy just like him. I get those emails all the time, and it's cool. All right, it's cool. It's almost like a second layer of the brotherhood, right, of being in the military, or sisterhood. I'm speaking generically here. It doesn't surprise me that he's got those stories. What I would encourage you to do is record him telling those stories, maybe for your kids. Hopefully they're clean stories. Maybe you don't want your kids to hear those. I mean, some of these are not clean, these stories, as you may know. But make sure he captures his stories for posterity, right? You know, yeah. If we don't tell these stories, as I said in the last episode here, if we don't tell these stories, they die. If we don't preserve them somehow, they die. And as silly as they are, as crazy as some of them are, we don't want them to die. It's who we were at that time in our lives, and I think that's important. So, when you ask young men and young women to do big things, or even potentially do big things, you know, at those young ages, up to and including the loss of their life, you know, for their country. You know, with the expectations comes an equal amount of craziness, you know, behind the scenes. So, and that's a part of that story that doesn't get told a lot. It's a part of the Cold War. It's part of GWAT. All these different eras, Vietnam, World War II. We know the battles, we know the maneuvers and the generalship and moving this and that and the big everything else. But it's what happens in between all those moments that also forges that brotherhood, right? So, yeah, capture his stories and thank him for his service as well. So, do we want to do another drink? I think we'll do. Yeah, we'll do. That's just one question, guys. I'm trimming it back a little bit here. Let's do another sip here. You know what this is? This is a Nutter Butter. This is my Nutter Butter dunk test, patented. Number 3 on the list. We're gonna dunk this in Penelope Toasted and see what the fuck this is all about here. All right. We'll see if it stands up to the scrutiny. I don't want to dribble stuff all over my notes here. Let's see. Fantastic. All you guys and gals that are not dunking Nutter Butters in your bourbon, you are totally missing out. Now, one of the things I introduced, or I mentioned in the last episode, I guess, and kind of introduced. One second. Oh, saving my backup Nutter Butter because I got something new today. One of the things I mentioned in the last episode was, hey, actually, it was the Kentucky Wrangler who suggested, hey, why's it got to be Nutter Butters? You know, dunk something else. Well, I love the Nutter Butters. He's like, well, take recommendations. All right, I will. Our buddy Dimwit, Black Hawk Dimwit, says, what about those little crackers, those little cookies they give you on the Delta flights? Well, it's Biscoffs. I know what they are because I've had them for years. I don't know if they make these in Georgia. I don't know where they make it. They're actually made they're distributed by a place out in California. I don't know where these things are made, but Delta's headquartered here, so everybody knows Biscoffs down here, right? Probably because of Delta. Delta probably put them on the map. They're fantastic. They're kind of like, the closest thing I can describe it to is like a ginger snap if you never had them. But yeah, he wanted us to give this a go. So you know what? That's what we're gonna do. We're gonna open this little packet here, and I got this at Kroger. You know, you can probably get it anywhere, or you can find it online. I'm sure they're online. And just these little, Biscoffs, right? Pretty cool. They smell like ginger snaps, whatever. So let's just we're gonna do Dunkalicious here. Here we go with the Biscoff. And this is for you, Dimwit. All right. All right, that looks pretty good. It's not falling apart yet like the Oreo did in the last episode. So let's see here. Whoa. Oh, man. Whoa. That's better than the Nutter Butter. That's the first time I've said that. This is better than the Nutter Butter. I mean, it's different, but oh my God, is it good? Good pick, Dimwit. Whoa. Oh, man. No. You know, it's got the brown sugar in it. Oh, damn, that dude. I'm telling you. All right, now here's the thing. Dimwit does not like the Nutter Butters. He's tried Nutter Butters, dunking them into 3 or 4 different pours, different brands. It's just not for him. I mean, that's okay, because he's kind of weird. In a good way, maybe. But you may like these, Dimwit. Give them a go. We're going to have Dimwit on the show. Maybe the next episode, we'll see. I got to test all the tech up for, you know, getting him on the show, getting a remote guest on the show. But if he's on, we'll have him dunk this as well. So up to you, Dimwit, if you want to try it before or if you want to try it during the show. Up to you. You'll let me know, all right? So let me gonna dunk one more. God almighty, this is good, man. I can't describe it, guys. This is really good. Now, I don't know if it's the toasted, if it's Penelope, right? Every bourbon may have a different, you know, type of vibe. I mean, this is the gold standard, as it will remain. But this is even better, I'm telling you. Wow. My God, man. Whoa. All right. Well, I'd say the bourbon worked. I'm over here dipping cookies and tuna salad and everything else in my my bourbon here. So that's all for this episode, guys and gals. Remember, keep your canteens full of whiskey, your bullshit in overdrive, and remember, make all your future stories worth telling. Rampage and We Pierce.
Dismissed.